Today, I would like us to talk about why I'm starting a coffee company. But I would like to start by apologizing. I've been feeling so drowsy and weak the last 3 days. I have this cold that is killing me. But since I wanted this to happen, and I'm so determined to have at least an episode every after 2 weeks out on Behind the Gathering, just to chat with you, to talk with you on what's happening in my life and what's happening on We Need to Talk podcast, Gather Now, Core Network, and now Gather Now Coffee. And the main reason for this video today, there's been a lot of questions as to why I am starting a coffee business. I've been in the coffee industry for over 7 years now, right? Cheers to that. Yeah, that's why they say you should always let your coffee cool down first, man. Like, coffee tastes better when it's at its, lowest temperatures. I think let's just first put this cup of coffee right here. Otherwise, it'll just burn the hell out of me. But yeah, the reason for this video today, I really want to talk about why I'm starting a coffee business and why does the world need another coffee brand? Does it even need another coffee brand? No. Honestly, I've been thinking a lot about why we gather and why we don't anymore. And this prompted me to think out loud. What can be something that we can create that lets us gather as the young adults, that lets the community come together? Because lately, everything that's in the world, from marketing, promotion, news, anything, is just driving us apart. It's tearing us apart. We are more connected digitally, and more even disconnected than ever before, man. And for me, that's something that was like preaching my mind. And I decided to start up a coffee company because I know the power of coffee. I know what coffee can do. And in addition to the podcast that I host, that's We Need to Talk podcast, I believe it's a very good combination, right? Because for many times in many, I'll call it years, I've been able to interact with the various people when it comes to whether it's through coffee or through the podcast or just through the conversation that you have with your friends. And one of the things that I've been asking myself is why we gather. Does it even still make any more sense? Like if someone gathers in a certain place, if a community comes together, does it make more sense why they're gathering? Or they're just there for that specific minute, but their mind is somewhere else. So for me, I've been thinking a lot about why we gather and why we don't anymore, which is why coffee has been at the back of my mind, because I know the power of coffee, honestly. I know what coffee can do. Most of my conversations, most of my big ideas, most of my things have started with a cup of coffee or around coffee or just anything about coffee, which is why Gather Now Coffee is a very, very big tool for me to bring the world together. Because one of the things that I represent, or the things that I stand for, is a community that shows up for each other. In everything that we do, let it be through content, outreaches, stories told, we need to support each other. Today's world, we are more connected digitally, but when it comes to human connection, there is zero. Like right now, you might be having like 40 people that you're talking to on your phone, but when you ask yourself, when last did you meet these people? When last did you have like a honest conversation with these people? Um, the chances are zero, like maybe in the last 3 months, zero. But when we look back to our, grandparents, I'm 28 years old right now. One of the things that connected our parents with our grandparents with our grandparents. One of the things that connected them was them coming together, maybe like on a fireplace or a dining table, you know, just to talk, to let's be in a moment and have this conversation. Let's catch up rather than, you know, let me shoot you a text. You get it's good to, I mean, don't get me wrong. It's good to have, you know, the digital communication, and God knows that we need it in this world. But the way how we are pulling each other apart is insane. It's totally insane. So for me, one of the things that I do on We Need to Talk podcast is bring together people to have a conversation about we ourselves, the young adults, can we have a space that we can come together, have stories, share, and get solutions to our problems? So Gather Now Coffee is that space for me. We have the stories, yes, but then how do we create that tangible impact? How? Gather Now Coffee was the answer, given the fact that my background in coffee, I've been in the coffee industry for over 7 years now, uh, which I'm almost now to a decade. Uh, most of my honest conversations, the big people that I've met, very, 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 very big people, if I say that. But also the connections that I've made with people that matter a lot. You meet this big one person, you might not meet them again, maybe in the next 5 years. But you meet someone who's honest over a cup of coffee or in a coffee shop, or they're buying a coffee somewhere, and you kickstart your relationship right there. And the way how you connect with each other is something that is out of this human race. So for me, Gather Now Coffee was that thing. Like, can we have something that connects us? Can we gather for a reason? Yeah. So some of the things that you see out there are, does the world need another coffee brand? Maybe not. Honestly, it doesn't. We have like a lot of coffee brands. And when you're launching or when you're starting like another coffee brand, that's the question you have to ask yourself. Like, okay, in this blue ocean that you're getting in, whereby coffee brands are like, there are no whales, it's fish in that ocean, like it's literally everywhere. Do you need to put your coffee brand in that ocean? But for me, it's not all about that. I don't need to give a world another coffee brand. What I'm giving the world is a place that brings us together compared to what is tearing us apart. So yeah, that's the whole reason I'm starting Gather Now Coffee. And it's about what coffee creates. Coffee slows things down. Yeah, now it's a bit cold. I can handle this. Yeah. Coffee slows things down for someone to open up. Think about it. Like, one of the things that you invite a friend over a cup of coffee or meet them in a coffee shop or a restaurant for that matter and have that honest conversation. Leave alone, you're meeting in a place and it's all about taking snaps, pictures and all that. Like, your phone is away. You're just having a cup of black coffee or your cappuccino or your latte or your milkshake, whatever you're having. And you're connecting to this person, If you think about that moment, those are the moments that you never forget. And for me, that's the whole reason for this brand. I don't want us to feel like, oh, okay, it's another coffee brand that we have on the market and it should be, okay, it's cool, it's all that. No, I might not be able to create something that blows up like any other person in the coffee market that does. Because, but when you look at campaigns about coffee, it's all about blowing up. But for me, it's about intentionality. Can I be able to have a certain Jane, a certain Peter meet somewhere and have this coffee talk? Can they be able to find solutions for their problems? That's why I'm having Gather Now Coffee. The other day I was talking to our person who sources of the coffee that we're getting or that we are going to be launching with. One of the things that I made sure that we have in place is the connection between the farmer, the person who is helping us coordinate the farm activities. I was talking to this person and he shared with me how happy this family was to give us their coffee, because what I made was I don't just need to buy coffee. I need to understand where this coffee is coming from, because from the first word that I have is I just don't need to get their coffee. I need to understand them, get to know their problems, see if we can solve them. And it's been something that is twitching in my mind, like, how do I develop now a campaign that rhymes with this? I had a conversation with, they're not yet, I won't mention their name. So I had a conversation with this family and they told me their challenges. And these are the challenges that we're going through every day, honestly. Tuition, mentorship of my kids, therapy sessions, just to understand like what's going on between ourselves, because it's like a whole family. I don't understand my husband. I don't understand my wife, things like that. So for me, those are things that I'm trying to solve. Can we create a platform where there is a conversation? Can we be able to put in place things that when a family is going through a turmoil or a hard situation, there is someone else to talk to? Can we have mentorship for these kids, especially in the villages? When you look at kids in the villages, they all grew up while knowing one thing. I want to become a president, a doctor, and a pilot, those things. But with the evolution of the world today, we all know where the world is headed. And if we still have that, there is a very huge gap between the person or the child growing up from the urban state or from the urban city with the child growing up in a rural area. And when we don't provide such things to them, it creates like a very huge difference. And these kids are bright, very, very bright. So for me, it's about that. Like, if our coffee can help us create that, it might be one or two, three people, but if it can touch these people, for me, that's it. That's it. So even in the language, the communication, the wording that we shall be using, just to clarify this, it will be all about that showing up. The other day I shared with the package with my friend Mamo. So I shared with her like what I intend to go out with, and then she was asking me about what's a solo session, what's the plus one, what's the plus size and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, look, this gives another whole concept. If you read the words, if you read the statement, just like I got solo session, the plus one, what is it? But for me, like, okay, just imagine you have this morning cup of coffee in the morning or in the afternoon, perhaps, and you're by yourself. You get, It's peaceful, it's quiet. Maybe you're journaling, you know, or I don't know, doing anything in the morning. We have all different morning routines, but you're alone in there. The ideas that flow in your mind are out of this world. And for me, that's it. Like, if this coffee helps you do that, I'm achieving the goal, or it's why Gather Now Coffee is out to the world. Then the plus one is this idea that we had with my team. And we're like, okay, we are a community. And, community is not made of one person. It's made of different people that come together. It can be 3, 4, 5. That's a community, And these people, like, whichever lives they touch, it's a part of them or it's amongst them. So we're like, okay, how do we cater for this community? Because if there's a solo session, but there is also like a gathering that's happening, we're like, we need to create uh, an offer that caters for these people as well. We're like, okay, let's call it a plus one, whereby if someone gets like maybe 2 or 3 bags of coffee, we have like 1 free bag of coffee that we're giving them. And this bag of coffee is not for them to just drink or take on top of that, the 2 or 3 bags of coffee they've had. This bag of coffee is to give out as a gift. You can buy it and say maybe send this to a certain Jen or Peter or Calvin somewhere as a gift. I'm inviting them to a conversation. Let's gather. Or you can go with it and hand it somewhere or someone as a gift and invite them into a conversation. Let them come together and join you for a conversation. Talk about what's pressing them. Find help, find support. So that's like the plus one idea that my team came up with. And it was really great to have, like, get see how all these things come up. And it's been fun. But anyway, so that will be like some other day that we'll talk about, like, the whole branding story and packaging models for Gather Now Coffee. But for now, I just wanted us to talk about the whole reason as to why we are becoming who we are as Gather Now Coffee. So for me, all the brands that represent Gather concepts should be in that element where they help provide support, whether intangible or tangible, and they should be in position to bring together communities, elevate them, and provide a platform that helps them air their dreams, believe that they can become anything they want to become in this world. And if Gather Now Coffee is doing that, what else do I need in this world? So Gather Now Coffee isn't about just brewing or selling coffee bags out there in the world. It's not just yet another coffee brand that's trying to get into the world. It's not about competing. It's about creating for me. It's a reminder to be present, that we choose people over pace, to sit and listen and stay a little longer. So if it starts right now, it has to be now. We don't have to push it later on. No. Let the conversation happen right now. Let me get the support right now that I need. So if you're looking at that, welcome to joining us in building a community that shows up for each other. And in the coming few days, of course, I will be back here in the coming 2 weeks. But like on my socials, Instagram, TikTok, I've been doing a lot of TikToks lately. Yeah, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. I'll be sharing more about how Gather Now Coffee is getting into the market and helping the community that we are serving. You can follow me on those pages as well for getting maybe daily updates. That's at Amoni Mukisa everywhere that I am on Instagram. I mean, on socials. Yeah. But yeah, that's the reason as to why I'm starting Gather Now Coffee. And I hope you guys join us. To do that, start by subscribing to this channel and also go and listen to our latest episodes on We Need to Talk podcast. And follow our activities all over on Gather Now Network platform. So I'll see you in 2 weeks, and I hope you enjoy this episode, and I hope you will join us in the gathering.